Alright, this is another guide for League of Roblox. Next hero on the list, Shedletsky. You probably know him for that. Anyway, Shedletsky is a skills using sustain carry, good at being able to constantly deal out damage, and while being able to mitigate it pretty well. I wouldn't say he's a tank, but he's able to mitigate damage decently. Okay. So, what is Shedletsky good at? Well, as I said, he's good at constantly being able to do damage. And that is because his basic attack combo is pretty fast. It does 2 rapid basic attack strikes, and then the third attack is a ranged dagger attack that does, I think, like a third or a half of the damage of a normal basic attack. It's good for getting a snipe on someone, and it's good if they're running away. You can quickly pull out a dagger. You can do your basic attack combo and then throw a dagger. Hopefully you stop them, but the damage isn't that great, so you might not. But let's get to his abilities, which is probably what you know him for. Sweep is just a general basic AoE damaging move. Has pretty good range. It's good for poking, especially when we get to one of the moves we talk about later. Its damage is okay, but it's nothing it's nothing really amazing. It's good for clearing minions, though. The next move is Impale, and this is Shedletsky's main damage move aside from his basic attack. If you land it on the frontward part of the hitbox, it applies a slow, otherwise it just does the damage. The damage is, it's pretty good, actually. His third move is Lunge. It just pretty much teleports you forward. It implies it's a dash, but it's actually just, like, you use it and then, like, a second later you blip to the location that you teleported to. And this isn't really good for damage. It's good for approaching, disengaging, and things like that. It's not damage, it's just to approach. And his fourth move, which is probably what you know him for, especially with this recent patch that made it better, Sword Fight on the Heights. You create a small arena around you. It is inescapable unless you use certain abilities that allow you to enhance motion and go through walls. Otherwise, you're trapped in there with Shedletsky. This is really good for being able to do your damage without being interrupted or them running away. This is when your sweep comes in handy because they're obviously going to be trying to run around and dodge you, but sweep is good at hitting them since it has a pretty big range, and that's what Shedletsky's good for. As for how you want to build his items, you definitely want to focus more on skills and health. Speed, I would recommend you get the speed shoes. It helps with the approach and the chase. And toughness, I would only get if you're fighting other tough skills, basic attack carries, ability carries, whatever. Now, what is Shedletsky bad at? What can't he do? While he does have that dagger poke, he's certainly not able to fight ranged characters from a distance. They will always outdamage him every time, unless it's something like a support. Other than that, though, Shedletsky cannot fight ranged unless he gets close to them and uses Sword Fights on the Heights, which is the ideal thing you should do against ranged characters. Second counter, which is really obvious. Any toughness tank, build him on a daily basis, and even Flare Blast to an extent. Dude, I would recommend you don't engage them unless they're very low health, and you know you can actually kill them, because otherwise you're pretty much screwing yourself over, and you made a really bad play, and you shouldn't even be playing this game if you're doing that. One thing I forgot to mention, jungle with Shedletsky. He's one of the best junglers in the game. He can jungle pretty much right off the bat at level 1, actually, just because of how well his abilities scale with levels and skills. It's a thing you're able to do. People do it all the time. Trust me. But, you know, that's what Shedletsky's good for. If you need a counter to Shedletsky, Oblivious Panther. If he gets close, you can spam his face with moves, and you're able to snipe him from a distance. You're able to constantly lay down pain on him, and he won't be able to pretty much do anything about it unless all of your spells are on cooldown, and he's able to burst you down. Any character who can pretty much out-sustain him, which are very few and far between, mind you, Guest, I would say, makes a good counter for Shedletsky since he's able to slow him, get out of the way. You know, Shedletsky will try to hit him, fail, and then you can go back in, get the slow again, and fucking Norton just popped up. And then you can pretty much just repeat until either he runs or you kill him. And that's pretty much it for this video. Just to recap, he's good for constantly laying down damage. He can trap enemies. He's not good against ranged characters or tanks, and he's only good against ranged characters if you can, if you're able to approach them without dying. If you need a counter for him, pretty much any ranged character that can lay down pain on him before he gets to you. As for where I would put him in tiers, it's interesting. I'd say he's on the verge of best and good, but I think Shedletsky's definitely worthy of great because of his ability to do really good damage and without being able to die as easily. Shedletsky's going in the great tier along with Boulderman, and in the next video I will be covering the first support in this game, Reese McBlocks. Until then, see you.